Well, the kids, ultimately, they're going to produce the society that we have in the future. So the right messages have to be given in the primary school system. And it's the respect that the children have for each other in an ever-changing multicultural Australia. It's constantly evolving. So new people are coming, new stories are being created, new families are arriving. And it's incredibly important that all the children are given access to those stories so that understanding builds respect. And understanding certainly develops acceptance. So it's the children of the future who we hope will create the accepting society that we all love today. That's the beauty of Harmony Day. It's an incredibly important day in the Australian calendar, and we're delighted that Football Federation Australia, the federal government and the primary schools around Australia are all now going to partner through football to increase the importance of Harmony Day.
We come from different places, but we're the same. You see it in our faces. We love this game. We love this game, though it's not a game at all. We feel anticipation. We've got that burn. We've come for competition. We've come to learn. And from each other, we learn about ourselves. Everybody's ready, we take the field. Our hearts are strong and steady, it's all so real. And this field of play now becomes a field of dreams.
Being born in Australia, lived here all my life obviously, I think that Australia has definitely become a lot more multicultural. We've always had different cultures and all that here, but obviously we have a lot more now. And 99% of them are great, fantastic people. Like even for myself, just with Football United, I've learned a lot more about different races, different cultures, things that I wasn't aware of, that I was ignorant of, that I'm not afraid to admit. You know, there's a lot of things that I had opinions on, and then when I found out what really happens or whatever, I was like, oh, hang on a minute, I was totally wrong there.
My friend, we're going to excursion, and she's black skin color, and they were wearing white shirt, and one of the boy, he was very rude, and then he told her, you're a black girl, you shouldn't be wearing a white shirt. And I came up to him and I was like, excuse me, you shouldn't say that, that's, you know, very rude, you know, I can get you in trouble for that. She was very upset, she was crying, so after that he never ever told her something like that.
You know, when I first attended like primary school when I was younger, you know, like me and my brother weren't the only Africans in the school, so yeah, we were looked at different, but yeah, like I guess as time went by, and yeah, a lot of other Africans migrated to Australia and started coming to school and stuff. Yeah, it wasn't really a big deal and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, I'm going.
I have friends that I know, I've seen people that have struggled because they couldn't speak English, because they weren't Australian, and I've seen football help them get through that, make friends, you know, learn the English better.
In the school we have very little issues with racial tension or cultural issues. All right, the kids tend to accept each other. You'll go out any time onto the fields and everyone's playing together.
There's all different lifestyles now, there's different communities, all that sort of stuff, and nearly everyone gets on well together.
And there were days when those who spoke to me.
I love Australia, I think it's the best country in the world, and I just would love for everyone that comes here to feel the same way, and I'm sure that most of them do. There are so many opportunities, no matter what culture or background you have. Yeah, I just think that makes Australia a unique country, and the more different cultures and that we have here, the more we can understand about them. That sport especially soccer or football, but sport in general is a great way to bring different cultures together, and that because no matter what country you come from, no matter what your background, nearly everyone knows a sport or sports, and it's something that you can get a group of people standing around from different countries that don't know each other, and you won't really get a word. You put a soccer ball or something in the middle and get them passing it around, and I can guarantee you within 5 minutes they're all talking and chatting, and so I think it's something that sport, is definitely something that can bring the different cultures together.
The people that, say refugees that don't have the same opportunities as other people, to unite through football, which football does, it doesn't matter, your age, your background, your religion, it's able to unite, and it's a great thing.
Back in Pakistan, it's very hard, dangerous place to live in. Hardly people go there because of the condition around there. It's terrible, you're living in Australia, it's amazing. You get lots of opportunities. No matter what, education, sports, everything. One of the worst things is that when I saw my cousin was in the bomb blast, he passed away, and he was in that. That was a terrible, terrible situation. It's hard to take in all this hard work. It takes time. But that was the worst thing. He passed away. He was in that bomb blast. It's very dangerous there. A lot of targets killing. Suicide bombing. Heaps of things. So it was hard, really hard for me, to be stuck in all these problems and stuff. It's really hard to talk about right now, to be honest. It's hard.
Go to the left this time.
When I first started playing football, I was a very shy-ish, nervous person. It took me time, Then, Football United, joined this to start playing with them. Then now I'm a coach, it helped me a lot, I learned a lot.
My dad was a migrant from Germany. Mum and Dad came out, and Dad ended up playing for the Socceroos in the 1974 World Cup. They spent time in a hostel when they first came to Australia, and this program just replicates this some 40, 50 years later, and it's great.
Football United is a humongously successful entity in its quest to build understanding and connection across the different cultures that are represented in Australia. Its power I'm still surprised to this day, after 8 years, how powerful it is.
So Harmony Day is about everybody coming together, obviously in harmony. It's about making everybody feel like they belong. It's connecting people from different backgrounds with other people. It's just really about unity and peace and all those sort of similar things.
Harmony Day is about peace, love, and sharing stuff with your family and learning about other people's cultures and what they do, and they get to learn what you do.
You see other people's cultures, and
it's about uniting together, every country, no fighting, no war, just live in peace. And not only live in peace on Harmony Day, but everybody should pretty much live in peace with everybody every day.
Football United is doing a great job at dealing with discrimination, I feel, because a lot of our programs are targeted at the migrant or refugee communities, the IEC communities within the schools, and I feel like there's a lot of stigma around the IECs or around those communities in schools, and I feel like Football United does a great job in assimilating them into mainstream, using the same vehicle that everyone loves, the vehicle of football.
I think football has the power to overcome barriers, whereas other things like language, basically anything else doesn't. So with Football United, we work with refugee kids, and one of the barriers we face is the language barrier, and football has that power to overcome that. So the kids, we don't need to speak English, they don't need to speak English to be able to play their game and have fun.
Football United in Australia has given me an opportunity.
I think it's hard for especially new refugees to transition into a completely different world.
Chasing women in some primal craze, walking around like I own the place.
The way that we live is different, just every aspect is a major change, and for their entire world to be shook up like that. Football is an international language. Everybody knows what it is. You might have different words for it, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what background you're from, what language you speak, what your religion is, you're still going to understand football and share that passion.
In Football United, our fundamental principle is building capacity, and our goal is to help any kid that joins the program find a pathway to reach whatever dream it is that they have, their desire to move ahead in the world. And our staff all has come from within the program. They're talented. They're you know, reaching way beyond the immediate sphere of Football United.
There's no room for racism in football.
I was a refugee, I came from far away. I found a place for me to call my own. I was a stranger here, but that was yesterday. We're friends from far and near, I know I'm home again.
We come from different places, but we're the same. You see it in our faces. We love this game. We love this game, though it's not a game at all. We feel anticipation. We've got that burn. We've come from competition. We've come to learn, and from each other we learn about ourselves. Everybody's ready, we take the field. Our hearts are strong and steady, it's all so real. And this field of playing now becomes a field of dreams. We'll still be friends, cause that goes on forever, it never ends. We love this game though, it's not a game at all. It's not a game at all.